How you doing, George? All right, George is set. It's a little after 7, so let's get the show on the road. Noreen, you'd like to do roll call?
Kevin Scully,
Here.
Marcy Daniel,
Present.
Chip Postiglione,
Here.
Steve Thaw,
Here.
John Seeley.
Here.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Stand for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance.
Please just note, in case of emergency, the exits behind you or behind us here, please. We just have one new project. Luciano did not make it for this month. So what we have is Kowalski. They say that correct? Okay, please come up. Say that again? Kolakowski. Just like it spells. Imagine that. How you doing this evening, okay?
Good, good, Mr. Chairman. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. So you want to give us a little bit, little background on, say that again?
Richard Krogan. I'm the attorney.
Pull your mic forward.
Speak into the mic.
Richard Krogan, 210 Main Street, Goshen, New York, 10924, on behalf of the applicant.
Monica Lacala.
So, my client, she was repairing or replacing a roof, and she got noticed for a violation. So then it came to light that there was 2 variances that were needed, one at rear yard and lot coverage. So the rear yard is supposed to be 60 feet. She has 14.7, so approximately 45 and a half feet variance would be needed. And then on the lot coverage, 15% is what's required, and we're at 24.8%, so a 9.8% variance is requested. Just by way of background, these are all existing buildings on the property. She hasn't built anything new that would cause the lot to be more structures on it. It was all there already. So if you'd like, I can go through the factors or however you want to handle it.
No, that's quite all right. So did you actually have a building permit for the work that you were doing, or how did it come to stop the work and know that you needed to get a variance?
She was issued a stop work order,
Right.
and then she applied for the permit.
So she didn't have the permit, and
She
she
did.
was working on it, and they saw us at the stop work.
Yes.
And they are pre-existing conditions, and you were aware of that when you purchased the place? And when did you purchase it? 2016?
2016.
2016, yeah, that's what I saw when I did some research. So what building, because there's multiple units on this property, right? You got a garage, you have a 1.5 story, a 2-story multi-unit dwelling, and then you have a 1-story frame building. So what building were you actually doing the work on?
If you can pull the mic forward.
The back building closest to the pool, the one family,
So that would be the 1-story?
yes, with an attic.
work that you were doing was, what, in the front of that, or the facing the pool? So
Yeah.
what exactly, what kind of work were you doing?
So we picked up the because it was very saggy.
Just if you could, just make sure you're leaning into the mic so it lights up, otherwise it's not picking
Yeah.
it up on the
Has
recording.
to be red.
So we picked up there was an existing roof, sort of like a foyer type of entrance, and the roof was extremely low, and we just picked it up. I had some frame.
So you raised the roof?
Yeah.
You raised the roof and it,
Basically, the footprint did not change. It was
but you
existing.
raised the roof to make more room in
For
the
the
interior
heading.
foyer,
Correct.
right?
Just for the foyer,
Foyer, only the foyer.
not the rest of the building?
No.
No, it didn't go outside of the footprint.
Okay.
Yeah, just the
But you didn't raise the roof of the rest of the building? Just the foyer?
just the foyer.
Okay, that's my
Yeah.
question.
I would say one sheet of plywood
4 feet
Say
roughly,
about-
sheet sideways or tallways?
higher. Yeah, lengthwise.
Length, so 8 feet?
About 8 feet, yeah.
So about 8 feet. Now, do you have any plans of the work that you were doing? Did you have to, when you went for when they put the stop work on you and then you had to go and apply for a building permit, did they ask for plans?
I have a friend who's an architect. He showed me some brief drawings, and then I have someone who actually does framing for living, and they helped me with that roof.
So you do have plans?
I
Your
mean,
friend?
now I do have, legit plans
Yeah.
for the pickup. Yeah.
Do you have plans?
Yeah.
If I may, there was an application for a building permit that was sent in on July 5th, 2022.
Right, 2020.
Permit number 2022-11734.
Yeah, I have all that information. What I'm asking for is, do you have plans? Did you submit any plans? Or she
Yeah.
was saying that she has a friend that's an architect and also a friend that is in framing. So if she has
Yeah.
plans, I would like to see the plans. The board would like to see those plans.
It appears that plans were submitted by Eric Newt Osborne. She's going to check, see if she has those plans with her.
I didn't see any plans in the. No, you had the survey, and then the other one was the whole packet.
Okay, I wasn't sure
Yeah, I
what the
didn't
two
see,
were.
didn't see plans. Unless I missed it. Anyone else see the plans?
No.
And this is something, we try to remain as consistent as we possibly can. So I think everyone on the board here will agree, every time something is in front of us, we always would like to see plans so we could wrap our head around what's really going on. And in particular, this instance where you were doing the work without the permit, and they were able to see it and put a stop order on it and go in there, I would like to see, and if you don't have them with you now, maybe next meeting we can go along as long as we can either get a copy to the town or bring a copy next time we meet of what exactly was done or the plans.
Plans are submitted to the town.
It's a huge roll of papers.
Yeah, I don't have.
We know.
They don't have them.
Do we have to make copies for the whole board?
We preferred to have copies, yeah, so we could all look at it and review it. So you're saying you have a whole roll of plans for a foyer area that's raised 8 feet?
Right, and then I also requested that I have windows in the attic space that I have over there. It's already existing, very tall attic, and I was just wanting to make a use of my attic. There's a lot of storage space.
Hence why, just what you're explaining now, why we'd like to see
That's
the
why we need to
plans,
see the
because
plans.
it's going from us raising the roof to, someone asked, now it's raised 8 feet, and when I hear that there's a plan, a roll of plans like that, that's not just a simple, I
understand.
raised a roof. So
I
we
understand.
would need to see that to review it, help us give a picture of what's going on out there.
Just to let you know, the attic has been the way it is. There's no change to the attic, besides the fact that I want to put windows in it. It's just the front of the building has that addition.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You're not adding living space there, are you?
No, not living, it's just for strictly storage space, yeah.
If I may, just to be clear, the plans that you have actually detail the raised roof of the section of the
Yes.
foyer? Because I'm looking at the email, Noreen, you sent today, and there's a copy of a plan here, but it just kind of scribbled in the foyer area on there, and it just
Yeah.
says area of work. It
Yeah,
doesn't
that-
detail any specifics.
Right, that's not the architectural plans,
No,
right?
right,
That's
this
just
is-
showing, that's the
yeah.
Right, I just want to
spot.
make sure that you have something more than that you're going to present to the board.
Yeah, that was scribbled on the
Right.
survey, right?
Monica, how many pages is the thing that you have from Ben?
Curious about proper drawings.
Does he have it in a PDF form? Your architect.
I can request, for sure.
Send it to me in a PDF form. And then I'll verify if we need all copies or if the PDF would work. Okay?
Thank you.
The sooner you get that to me, then they can make their decision how many copies I would need, hard copies. Okay?
So on the, going through the packet, right, it's pretty cut and dry where you got your rear yard setback in your area. Who calculated the area? Where you're saying you have 24.8% coverage and looking for a 9.8%, the difference between 15 and 24. So as I look at this survey, did the surveyor do the calculation?
Yes, George at the Youngblood's, yeah.
Right. I didn't see. Box where he's got the lot coverage calculation. Acre lot, correct?
In addition to that, there's in the front of the property. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
On the front of the property by Talbot Road, that parcel was supposed to be given to Ms. Kolakowski, but somehow it didn't go through in the process. So that would change the lot coverage.
Say that, I'm sorry, say that again?
By Talbot Road.
Yep, the
There's-
1.5-story building?
No, there's a parcel of land there that's in no man's land.
That's that .38 acre?
Yeah, right.
That should actually belong to Ms. Kolakowski. And that would change the lot coverage.
So how did the surveyor miss that?
Well, the surveyor didn't miss it. It was in the chain of title, it got left out.
Yeah, but if it's in the title as a surveyor, right, you're doing a title search, right? If it was giving and this lot became part of that, there would have had to been a whole, there would have been a survey involved and that were there. So if it's in the title, the surveyor's doing a title search. So right now, it just says adjoining, right, it's got a map number on it. So I hear what you're saying, but it's,
Well, I'm not sure that you are, because it was supposed to be deeded, but it was not.
Right.
So that's why a surveyor wouldn't pick it up.
So-
Because it was not conveyed, but it should have been. But now it's kind of in limbo, and you would have to go through a legal process in order to capture that land back.
Right, until that happens, I can't look at it. No one on the board can look at it that way.
Understood, but that would change the lot coverage.
Sure it would.
Because it should be, but the process would take longer than possibly getting a variance.
I agree with you 100%, but if and nuts, right?
Yeah.
We're talking, we can only go by, you presented us with a survey here, and we can only go by that. I understand what you're saying, but that's gonna be a process that you're gonna have to go through to capture that.
Are there plans underway to get a correction deed from
Yeah,
the original
I
seller?
spoke with Richard already, and he said he would help me with that. Also,
But it hasn't begun yet.
yeah,
Right.
also,
Understood.
I have to maintain it, and it's not fair to me that it should have been owned by me, and someone just missed it. And we didn't know when we were at the closing table, that was not part of the property, because the survey was not done then. It wasn't done by the old owners, and it wasn't done by us, because we had a hard loan to start with this property initially, so the survey was not required.
So when you were in 2016, when you were purchasing this property,
Did not know.
the owners of the property also own that piece, or is that from a different?
No, it was never owned by the old owner.
Excuse me?
It was never owned by...
It's a different owner owned that.
It's a person who subdivided the whole farm of
Right.
Talbot.
Yeah.
And they just neglected this. It has never been done.
So it's not just a correction deed from the person who sold it to you due to an error. It goes way back. It's a quiet title action of some sort.
Yeah, with. Right?
Factored in at this.
Right, but look, it's a background fact to understand that that's the situation, but it doesn't change the calculation. The calculation is the calculation.
Right.
Going forward, this will be corrected. I promise.
What's the minimum acreage on the zoning in that zone?
Is it 1 acre?
So that's not a buildable lot anyway
No.
at a .38, so it's going to have to get corrected at some point,
Yeah, but, yeah.
but not, yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing we can really do. I don't even know. It would obviously change the coverage. I still think there would be a variance over it, but it'd be less.
Have you done the calculation? Again, we know that the calculation is going to be based upon the actual presently owned property, but have you gone back and done the lot coverage calculation if that were to be added?
What is it at present? What is the percentage now? Because I remember George mentioned it, and I didn't write it
4.8%, right?
right now. Yeah, he said it would be about 20 if we did that.
Brings it down to 20.
Yeah. See, may I approach just to show this map? Because this here is such a tiny little scribble.
I think they see that piece in the front. I think they see it.
Yeah, we have that.
It should
Yeah,
be conveyed,
they have the big map in front of them.
Okay. Yeah, it says 0.38 acres to be conveyed to adjourn.
What, just a quick question. I see in the application package that I have, it looks like the deed is October of 2021, but you've mentioned
Yeah,
purchasing it in 2016. What's the difference
we
there?
refinanced because it was a hard loan before, and then my daughter took a mortgage on the property. So we paid off the hard loan to satisfy it with a mortgage. And by the way, my daughter is an officer in the Navy. She's serving, so just
Good. God bless.
thank you.
As of October 4th.
couldn't be here.
So as of October 4th, you have full ownership with no attachments.
Correct. So it's, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Any other questions from the board members?
Just to reiterate, actually, you didn't build anything. No.
We're talking about the existing structures. that are
Exactly,
there.
yeah.
Those haven't been modified on their footprint, only the one structure height-wise. But as
Okay.
far as expanding
yes.
footprint, no.
No structures were built.
No.
That's, yeah.
How much work has been done on the property prior to the building inspector stopping the work?
About the roof, maybe 20%. Still needs a lot of work. I have all kinds of things coming into my home because of this unfinished roof.
One quick question, another quick question. You've got, I see the application for the building permit is dated July of 2022. Why the year and a month until now before you're until you're here before the zoning board?
Family issue. Wasn't aware. Frame. Also, there's a lot of money process.
This, this piece of property, is it well and septic, or is it municipal water? Excuse me?
All private.
All
Well and septic.
well and septic?
Dave, to answer one of your questions, there was a letter from the building inspector, July of '22, saying that she needed to go before the zoning board. She had approached us in August of that year, within the 30 days. We gave her the application, and then she hadn't come back. She came back a couple of months ago and was denied to be before the board because she was in the timeliness manner outside of the 30 days. We had spoken about it. And she got a new letter issued from the building inspector, and it's within the 30 days, and that's why she's on tonight's meeting. You might not have that letter, but you will have it tomorrow morning, if you don't have the one
Yeah, just
from-
make sure it gets in the packet before the board.
Yep.
I think I saw that letter, though.
I think I forwarded it out
Yeah,
when Ben sent it,
Right,
but
I was
I
reading
can't
that.
track what I emailed out on this computer.
Right. On this property, how many wells or septics? Is it just one, or how many do you have?
There's 2 septics, 1 well for all.
2 septics, 1 well?
1 well.
All right, if there's no other questions from the board, I guess then moving forward, we would like to see the plans that you have. We'd like to review those and go over that to give us a better picture. Anything else that,
Just a plan.
yeah, just the plans on that. So, do you have any more questions, any more comments for us on,
Is tonight a public hearing as well?
excuse me?
Is tonight a public hearing?
No.
No.
No, it's not.
Is it a workshop, or how do you
It's just,
phrase it?
it's a new project for us. We're just, you're getting us familiar with what was being asked of us. For us to go forward, we'd have to vote or make a motion to set up a public hearing. But at this point, I don't feel like I'm ready to go to a public hearing because I really would like to see the plans of what we're trying to do here.
Agreed.
And like I said to you before, we're pretty consistent. Well, we are really consistent with that. Whoever comes in front of us, we'd like to get a view of what's going on. So I think moving forward here, we'll just, next month, when's the next meeting?
September 20,
So if, and what do they have to do for that, for,
Submission would be September 5th. So they would have to just submit anything that you're still looking for by then.
and they'll be scheduled on to the,
It would be scheduled for the 26th meeting. If a PDF would suffice for you to look at, and she gets me the PDF immediately, would you consider setting the public hearing instead of waiting another month? That is,
I just don't know how we're, from their words, how we're gonna see a roll of plans like this on a PDF. If we
a
can,
lot
if,
of pages.
yeah, that's the only concern I have
Okay.
right now. I wasn't expecting to hear that we've got a roll of
I
plans
thought
like
she might
that
say 2
for,
pages.
Might be 2 pages, but they are huge pages.
yeah, map size. Yes, no, I get it.
Well, I guess the real question is, how many sheets are there? Is there 2 sheets and
might
they're
be-
just large sheets, or?
I believe it's about 3 sheets only. There's barely any electrical, so it's basically just drawings of those windows and that roof. Basically that, nothing beyond that. And then we had to make a certain justification because Ben didn't want one of the outlets upstairs. He just wanted one outlet, one light upstairs and maybe one downstairs or something to it. So Richard had to redraw and submit another drawing, but it's pretty simple, cut forward.
So the plans have to be modified and resubmitted to the building inspector? So, I don't feel comfortable with setting, because I would like the building inspector also to see the plans. Right, if they need to be resubmitted to him, he's gonna make comments,
Probably.
right? So, let's just get everything to the town by the 5th. Probably be able to do PDFs. We'll see what happens. And then you'll get to schedule for the next September meeting.
I said, the plans are here in
Okay.
Ben's office, just,
Okay.
Does he have an updated one with what he was looking?
whatever the changes were, yes.
He already has those plans.
Okay. All right. Good?
So the board wouldn't consider without seeing the plans?
No.
Okay,
All righty? Thanks very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Night.
Night.
Did the minutes go out?
10 minutes now.
Yeah,
10-minute meeting.
pretty proud of that.
Oh, it was a very good meeting.
New record.
Pretty proud of that.
That's the one that didn't record.
Nobody's doing anything. Like, nobody's building, it's the
Why,
only
though?
thing I could think of. Well, I got a few.
Why?
We'll talk after.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second motion?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.